was a hot lap around Monza in the Ferrari 488 GT3. You can see the time here is a 1:47.628. Take a look at the timetable. I've spent quite a bit of time on this one and just wanted to restart. Oh, I wasn't chasing previous best time. There's definitely more time in it. You can see here off in the first sector, second sector, and then the final corner. Actually, on my fastest lap, I took it a little bit too conservatively. But like I said, I've been working on this one for quite some time, so I'm not going to sit here and try and chase that lap time. Definitely think it's capable of a low 47. Maybe 46 in the faster hands than mine, but nevertheless, those are the sector times. Like I said, the only one that really needs improvement on the purple side of things is sector 3. Just a little bit too conservative in the final corner. Like I said, I did start with the aggressive preset, and this is where I wound up. Just setting the tire pressures up once again for right around 28 psi hot. Trying to keep it around there, running low camber on the rear, trying to get a little bit more punch out of the corners. I noticed this car likes to spin up its rear wheels quite a bit, especially out of the first chicane, but nevertheless, also trying to keep the rear tires in check as same with the McLaren setup I did. If you're doing a race, it's going to be rear tire critical around here, and a lot of cambers are a really good way to get them really hot and wear them out soon. For my electronics, here's what I was running. Feel free to tinker with these as you see fit. I could definitely see an argument for running more traction control just to try and kind of make the car a little bit more tame. On my brake pad compound, front and rear was on 1. That's good for qualifying or a short sprint race. If you want to do a longer race, anything getting close to around an hour, you might want to try brake pad compound 2 instead of 1. So just keep that in mind. On the suspension side of things, it's just this was very tricky. Ultimately, I kept the wheel rate on the rear pretty soft. Increase the anti-roll bar on the rear a little bit to kind of make the rear end a little bit more predictable, less lazy. Took a lot of anti-roll bar out of the front of the car. Really helped, especially hopping some of the curbs. It was just with as stiff as it was, I think I almost halved it. With as stiff as it was, hitting some of the curbs was just, it was kind of a roll of the dice as to what the car was going to do. Other than that, brake bias, I moved it really far back over where it started. Ultimately, I think as long as you're above about 53%, you're in a decent zone for the car. Anything under 53, I started noticing I was getting really tail happy on braking into the corner. So just keep that in mind on that one. The dampers, so we've got our bump. All the bumps all the way around really stiff, controlling the car, and then fast bump on the front and rear of the car also set really low to try and keep it nice and just ride over the bumps around Monza whenever you hit those curbs, especially through Ascari and stuff like that. Trying to ride it a little bit more like a Rolls-Royce rather than a Ferrari. Keep the car nice and tame. That's the thought process behind it anyways. Onto the aero side of things, so this car is kind of weird. With the aggressive preset, it started with the nose higher than the front, which is a valid tactic, especially if you're going for all out like straight line speed. Ultimately, I did even the ride heights and then tried the rear a little bit higher than the front as well, and it was just a little bit too tail happy at the rear unless I wanted to put some wing on it to kind of balance it out. So I ultimately decided to just slam the rear as low as it could go, raise the front a little bit over the rear, just to kind of improve the handling over the curbs. There's a lot of overhang on the front wheels on the car, so raising the nose up a little bit definitely would help with that. And then I did keep a little bit of rear wing on the car, as I didn't notice any real straight line impact, but I was getting a little bit more grip, especially through like the Lesmos and Ascari, and ultimately I think it is worth time to have that little bit of rear wing. But if you do want to kind of free the car up and go more for straight line speed, you can decrease that wing And if you want to make the car ride smoother over the curbs, especially stuff like Ascari, you can raise this front up about 62 millimeters on the front, and this thing kind of rides exactly like a Rolls-Royce over the curbs, but it does understeer quite a bit, so just keep that in mind. But there is that adjustment if you need to make it. I'm quite impressed with the time I got. I'm impressed with myself. I'm happy with myself. I feel like I've improved a decent amount. I know I could go faster. I know there's a low 47 in it for me. I'd love to hear what you guys managed to do with the setup. I'm sure someone is going to blow that time completely out of the water. Someone always does, and it amazes me, but it also makes me really happy that you guys can take these setups and thrash them around the track and get really, really good lap times with them. So I hope you all enjoy this. I hope it works well for you. Let me know if it does. Like I said, let me know what you managed to get out of the setup in the comments below. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you. Bye bye.